This video was brought to you by Audible. Before Freddy fought Jason, before Timmy Turner met Jimmy Neutron, before the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was, of course, Hanna-Barbera. With a library as huge as Hanna-Barbera's, full of diverse cast of characters and shows, naturally they were crossed over from time to time. With shows like Yogi's Gang, Laugh Olympics, even some commercials and PSAs. But today, we're going to be talking about a TV movie starring our favorite families from the past and the future. 1987's The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones.
Tonight, take off on a timely adventure.
Hey, where'd everybody go?
When the Jetsons travel back to prehistoric Bedrock and run into America's very first family, there's lots of Stone Age surprises for the Space Age visitors.
Oh no, the wrong family went back to the future.
Watch what happens when the Jetsons meet the Flintstones tonight at 8 on Movie 32.
The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones was written by Don Nelson and Arthur Alsberg and directed by Don Lusk and Ray Patterson. Before we dive in, first a little history. From 1987 to 1988, Hanna-Barbera launched the Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10. These were a series of made-for-TV movies starring HB's most famous characters that aired to syndication. For those who don't know, this is where the red shirt Shaggy era Scooby movies came from. But we'll be talking about those at a later date. But the most memorable of these was, of course, the iconic crossover event, The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones. After its airing, it'll be re-released many times and circulated in reruns for years. I remember as a kid, it was one of the movies of the week I would look forward to on Cartoon Network's Cartoon Theater. I can recall looking at the guide and seeing when it was airing. Ooh, The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones is coming out tonight. No matter how many times I saw it, I always sat right in front of the TV to watch it. The story. Fred and Barney want to plan a vacation for their wives. For some reason, Pebbles and Bam Bam are noticeably absent, but they don't have enough funds to do so. So Fred schemes up a way to get the money disguising themselves at Mrs. Slate's poker game. They get caught and immediately fired, resorting for Fred and Barney to take their wives on a cheaper vacation, a camping trip in the woods, even though Wilma and Betty wanted to go to Honolulu Rock. Meanwhile, in the future, George Jetson is having a little problem of his own. He's in the middle of a Spacely-Cogswell rivalry, as the latter is stealing Spacely's business ideas. George finds out his computer Rudy, yeah, him, is the one leaking the information. But I'll have to wait a minute, cause Elroy finished building a time machine and wants to test it out for the family. So the Jetsons family decide to go to the near future, the 22nd century, but a mishap leads them traveling to the past at Bedrock. And wouldn't you know it? They just so happen to be in the same spot as the Flintstones and the Rubbles, which lead to the movie's signature scene.
And now, this message.
Today's video is brought to you by Audible. Audible allows you to listen to audiobooks and podcasts on any device, whether it be a smartphone, iPad, or tablet, and it picks up right where you left off, with thousands of titles to choose from. Right now, the book I'm listening to is I'm Glad My Mother Died by former iCarly star Jeanette McCurdy. It's an interesting and very heartbreaking read, and it really is an eye-opener when it comes to kid actors, to manage their parents, and Hollywood. I definitely recommend it. Sign up for a 30-day free trial, and your first audiobook is covered. Go to audible.com/cartoonguy. Again, that's audible.com/cartoonguy. Now, back to the show.
We now return to Cartoon Network's Cartoon Theater.
So here we see the three families meet and quickly befriend one another. Seeing them all interact was my favorite part of the movie. Through some complications, Elroy's invention accidentally ends up sending the Flintstones to Orbit City and the Jetsons stuck at Bedrock, where Mr. Spacely and Cogswell plan to exploit Fred and Barney, while George becomes a big hit among the cave people. Now, I won't call this a great movie, and I'll admit it's the nostalgia talking, but seeing how the original shows still hold up and are some of my favorites, I will admit some of their revivals in the 80s just weren't that good, but this is the rare exception. The movie can't be a joy for individual scenes though. I love the families adjusting to each other's time period. I love Fred helping Mr. Slate cheat at the competition, but getting too greedy with demands, only to get fired again anyway. Even lines like this made me chuckle.
Jane, wait! With all those super vitamins and steroids, the people of the future might be pretty frightening.
Sorry, dear. I didn't mean to walk all over you.
That's all right, dear. Everybody else has.
The vocal performances by Hanna-Barbera regulars are fantastic, as you expect, with notable names like Henry Corden, Mel Blanc, Gene Vanderpool, Don Messick, Dawes Butler, Frank Welker, John Stevenson, Hamilton Camp, George O'Hanlon, Penny Singleton, and Janet Waldo. Some scenes, lines, and gags are a product of the time. For example, the caveman rock star Judy falls in love with is an 80s rock copy of Jet Screamer, and the caricatures of Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers might confuse younger viewers. It might confuse them even more if they didn't know Joan had a short-lived talk show in the 80s. The only complaint I have is Judy's constant whining over boys can get grating on the nerves a bit. That was pretty much her thing. She was boy crazy. And no fault of Janet Waldo, she was always kind of one note, and obviously written by what 40-year-old men thought teens were like at the time. Like I said, not a masterpiece, but if you're a fan of either cartoon, you're definitely gonna get your fill. It's innocent nostalgia weirdness, but it's just right for me. Tell me what you think of the special in the comments. Until next time, I'm 47 Cartoon Guy, and I gotta fly. If you want to support this series and many other videos, click the link below to my Patreon. You get a special credit, early access, shout out to your channel or blog, even a commission by me. Every dollar goes into the production of these videos for software, research, DVDs, as well as help put food on the table. If you're not able to donate, you can also help by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking the little bell icon. I thank you, and I gotta fly.